There has been much change in the world in the last century, and in the world of sports, specifically the NFL, change has also followed. Since Marion Motley broke the color barrier in 1946, blacks have become the majority of players in the NFL. According to AEI.com, during the 2015 season, it was reported that over 68.7% of the league's players were black. Progress has indeed been made on the part of the players, but this stat fails to represent one crucial piece of the puzzle that is missing. Sure, African Americans are the majority of players, but they are still the minority in one major aspect of the game: coaching. Why is it that 68.7% of players are black, but only 9.3% of head coaches, which is just 3, are African American? To try and fix this problem, the NFL implemented the Rooney Rule in 2002, which required teams to interview minorities for their vacant head coaching positions. But implementation of this rule hid what was in plain sight. Just look at the owners in the NFL, and look at the commissioner. Notice anything? Correct. They are all white. If this past election has taught us anything, it's that whites hold more conservative views, both politically and socially. Yes, I am talking about racism. Sadly, it plagues the United States, and it plagues the coaching ranks of the NFL. My initial solution to the problem was that blacks should be promoted to coordinator positions for at least one specialty, be it offense, defense, or special teams, or that teams be required to have at least 2 minorities on their coaching staffs. But I found this solution is not very likely, specifically because of the fact that racism still plagues the NFL, in more ways than one. Like I said before, if this election has taught us anything, it's that racism still exists. And if it plagues the United States, then it's bound to plague the NFL, particularly the NFL coaching ranks. An ESPN article I read highlighted the major problem that comes with minority coaches and white coaches. It found that white coaches are not only more than twice as likely to be promoted to coordinator positions than their minority counterparts, but they are in fact 114% more likely to become coordinators than their minority counterparts. Yeah, you heard that right. 114%. And those salaries are kept private. It's estimated that white coaches are likely to earn $20 million more than a black counterpart over the course of their careers. Herman Edwards, former coach of the New York Jets and Kansas City Chiefs, highlighted the major problem with minority coaches, saying, quote, "A lot of guys who are minority coaches that come into the league, after a while they get discouraged. They realize I'm going to be a position coach, and I'm okay with that. If no one in a position of authority is going to give me the next move, you get stuck. There's a cycle, and it hasn't been broken. But perhaps the cycle can be broken. What if there were minority owners? What if an African American became a major owner of an NFL team? That could be the first step in helping to break the cycle, perhaps, right? Well, if racism has taught us one thing, it's that it affects more than just one aspect of America. To own an NFL team, you gotta make a lot of money. According to Forbes, the lowest valued team in the NFL is the Bengals at $1.68 billion. So to own an NFL team, probably safe to say you gotta have a net worth of at least $2 billion. But that's where socioeconomic inequality comes into play. I collected data myself on the top 100 billionaires in the world. And I split them given their nationalities. And what I found didn't surprise me. Of the top 100 billionaires in the world, only one person on that list was black: Aliko Dangote of Nigeria. And of the billionaires in the world, only 12 total are black. None of them want to own an NFL team. In fact, the only African American that I've heard in recent news express interest in owning an NFL team is P. Diddy, but he doesn't have enough capital to purchase a team on his own. So we're left without any black majority owners. Whites maintain control of the hierarchy of the sport. And of course that hierarchy trickles down to the masses. So how can one trust that they will be given a chance to become a head coach if there's nobody of their same skin color in the front office or on the coaching staff that they're being hired to be a part of? Are they really being given a chance to become the head coach? Or are they only being interviewed because they have to be interviewed? The fact that these possibilities have to even be considered as fact is exactly the problem that plagues minorities in the league. Racism in the world and in football still exists. We still live in a world when an alt-right activist actually asks if Jews are considered people. So why should we be so surprised that blacks are still so vehemently discriminated against in the NFL coaching ranks and in any chance of owning an NFL team? While my initial solution to the problem may help, I doubt it'll happen, specifically because of racism. It's a sad reality. A reality that still plagues our nation 150 years after the abolishment of slavery. I mean, for God's sake, we've already elected a black president. What the hell is it going to take? I honestly don't know. But it's time that those players who gave us some of the greatest memories on the field are allowed to give us those great memories behind a headset. Enough is enough.